Hello there. It is a Tuesday afternoon, just a little past noon here in Seoul. The weather right now is clear. The temperature is around -4 degrees Celsius. We're looking at a high today of -2. Doesn't feel that bad. I'm walking along Jongamro here. Over there is the inner beltway, the elevated expressway there. Jongamdong is where I took you in the video where I talked about the inner beltway, and we ended that video just right up there at that intersection. Korea University, Goryeo University, is just up the street here, and so is a little bakery that I stumbled on a few weeks ago. I walked past there several times before finally going in, but once I did, it has quickly become one of my favorite bakeries. So anytime I'm in this area, I'll drop by and pick something up. Sometimes I plan my walks to come by here because this bakery kind of stands apart from other bakeries that I've visited in Seoul, and that's why I keep coming back. In all of these favorite places videos I've done, I don't think I've ever really defined for you what I mean when I say a place is one of my favorites. It just means that I keep going back there. Something about it keeps bringing me back. Doesn't mean it's the best I've ever had. It doesn't mean it's life-changing. It just means I enjoy it and I keep wanting more. This bakery I'm taking you to now, I think if I had visited there even 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have come back. But my palate has really changed over the last several years. And this is the perfect place for me right now. It's called Dawning Bake Shop, right here. Now, I'm the kind of person, when I find a restaurant or a bakery or a cafe or something with a specific thing that I like, I keep going back for that thing. And I rarely try other things that may be available on the menu. The thing that drew me into this bakery was this one. I walked in there one day and I saw this on the shelf and I just had to try it. Because one of the things in the last few years that I've come to really like is something called angbutter. And it's basically just a pastry of some kind, like a croissant or any other kind of bread, with red bean paste spread pretty thickly on it, and then some slices of butter. That can be really, really good. And I never would have imagined that I would be eating just, I don't know why I have my sunglasses on here. I never would have imagined that I would be eating just slices of butter put on bread. You know, that just isn't a thing in my experience. But the first time I tried it, I fell in love. But the problem is, over time, my tolerance for sweets has really, really decreased. So those angbutter places, the red bean stuff that they put on there, the sweet red beans, tends to be overpowering on those angbutter things. Very sweet. So what they have here, they have this butter pretzel. And it's just this pretzel-like bread with slices of butter inside it. I hope you can see it there. I can't see my monitor right now. It's saving battery for me. There we go. Yeah, so that's it. I picked this up and I gave it a go, and wow, it is good. Now, if you look at it, I mean, it looks like a pretzel, right? It is very much a pretzel, but not like the kind of pretzels you might be used to, right? Some of the best pretzels I've ever had, of course, were in Germany. My wife and I were walking along one day in Munich. I think we came out of the English Park in Munich, and we were walking through the little residential area there, and there was a bakery on a corner with a big poster of a pretzel in the window, and we went in. My wife's like, we got to go try it. So we went in, we bought one, And I've had a few pretzels in Germany over the years, but that one I remember, right? That was a very, very good pretzel. This is not like that, all right? But it's very, very good. The primary thing that keeps me coming back to this bakery is that the flavors are subtle. Everything's very understated. Even the pretzel, right? It's got the taste of a pretzel, but very subtly so. And it's very soft. It's not like the crunchy, chewy mix that you find in many pretzels. It's soft, it's easy to chew, but it tastes like a pretzel, and it has somewhat of the consistency of a pretzel on the inside. And then that butter just really adds to it. So yeah, I absolutely love this. See, doesn't really look like a pretzel on the inside, but it's got that consistency, just slightly, that consistency of a pretzel, and that slight taste of a pretzel. Very understated. But then one day, as I was checking out, I was looking at the display case at the counter, and I saw one of these. This is a cinnamon roll, and it doesn't look like any cinnamon roll I've ever seen, right? Look at this. I can pick it up with my hands. How many cinnamon rolls can you pick up with your hands without your hands becoming a sticky mess, right? And this stuff on top, wow. You know, I was really worried when they put it in the case, and I put it in my backpack the first time, because it gets flipped around inside my backpack, and I thought, the cream's gonna be all over the place. It looked like this even after flopping around in my backpack. You can just see right there a hint of the cinnamon that's on the inside. Yeah, all the sticky stuff is on the inside. And again, it's very subtle, very understated. It's not drowning in it. 20 years ago, I was the guy who liked my cinnamon rolls drowning in cinnamon, drowning in the frosting that they put on top. I would not have looked twice at this back then. I took you to Cinnabon on Namsan. That did me for a while. I don't need to go back to Cinnabon anytime soon. I always enjoy it when I'm eating it, but then I always regret it after. This, I can eat and enjoy and not regret. So see? This is it. This is it. You can just barely see the cinnamon on the inside. And again, it's an understated taste, but it's there. You can taste the cinnamon clearly. And this frosting, it's not even frosting, it's a kind of cream, and it tastes, it's got a hint of cream cheese, right? But not overpowering. Again, it's subtle. And the mix of the cinnamon flavor and that cream cheese flavor and just that subtle amount, and the consistency of the bread, it's very soft, very chewy. Oh gosh. Again, 10 years ago, I probably would not have liked this. I would have found it a little bland because my sweet tooth was, I liked the overpowering stuff back then. But no, this is perfect for me now. But it's very rare to find something that's this subtle without being bland. So that's why I like this so much. And it's why I keep coming back. In fact, I'm starting to visit this bakery more often than I visit bakeries closer to my house. To get to the next place, we've got a little bit of a walk. Right now, we're passing by Koryo Daekyo, Korea University. The place we're going to next is just up ahead here, right outside one of the entrances into the Dongmyo Flea Market, and across from a bridge that crosses Cheonggye Stream. It's a little egg sandwich spot, what Koreans call toast. A few weeks after my wife and I moved into our apartment, which is just off to the north of us here, she noticed it when we were walking by, and we love it. Everyday toast. Yeah. I've come down to Cheonggye Stream to eat this thing. This staircase here is right across the street from the shop. So I'm here with the pigeons. At least they're not seagulls. So here it is. Look at this thing. Now, there's only so much you can do with an egg sandwich, right? But these Korean toast places, they're the same but different. Some of them really hit, some of them just aren't my thing. Some have some special thing that sets them apart from others. Ketchup is pretty standard, it's normal. A lot of places also put sugar on them. Now this place, I usually ask them to hold the sugar, but today I let them put it on. Yeah, see, this is, it's just egg, but you can see there's all these vegetables mixed into the egg. And that's where things differ between shops, is how they mix the eggs, what kind of vegetables they put in. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's the ham. And I'm making a mess here. Oh gosh. 안녕하세요. Yeah, but there's something about this place. This is just so good. Very buttery. In case that butter pretzel. Whoa! But yeah, in case you didn't get the hint from the butter pretzel, I love butter. And this is very, very buttery. Fantastic sandwich. If you ever come out to Dongmyo Flea Market and you're in the mood for a snack, you can't go wrong with this. Okay, now it's off to Daehakno University Street, where I'll show you something that sometimes is a nice snack for me. You can see they've still got the Christmas trees up. I did include a shot of this in my Christmas video. I got several shots from around Daehakno. And these pigeons, oh man, these things are huge. There's a word I heard a while back, several years ago. Somebody told me it's like a portmanteau of pigeon and chicken in Korean. So Was it dakdulgi? They were using it to refer to pigeons that are huge like this one. The place is known for its bagels. Oh, bagel and bread. But I have not yet tried one of their bagels. And I'm not trying one today either. I will eventually. When I do try one, I want to do it properly, right? I want to get it heated up and do the spread, cream cheese or whatever. That's not something I'm going to be sitting down in the park with. I'm going to be sitting in the restaurant or doing it at home. But this is what I come for. This is salt bread, but it's coated. This one is pistachio flavor. This is rather hard. This will crack and chip off. It's kind of like the frosting or icing or whatever on a donut. Some of the donuts that you buy, and you can see, or at least I can, the bottom of this is extremely buttery. Now my wife is a huge fan of salt bread, and that's what prompted my buying this the first time. I just happened to be walking by, and I went in to look at the bagels, but then I saw all these specialty salt breads, and I was like, oh my gosh, we got to try these. I got to get one of these for the wife. And again, the thing about this, it's not very sweet. It's just slightly sweet. And initially, this frosting does overpower the taste of the salt bread. But after it goes on for a bit, you then get the taste of the salt bread. I still haven't tried just the plain salt bread there. I've only tried this. I've had the pistachio, and I think my wife had the lemon. This, for me, has become an alternative to donuts because I just can't handle most donut shops anymore. Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts, all those places now, they're just too sweet for me. So when I feel like, gosh, I haven't had a donut in a while, this salt bread does it for me with the frosting. It gives me the same kind of feel, I guess you could say. And again, this is one of those things that really suits me because it's not overly sweet. So I can satisfy my cravings for a donut without having the overpowering sweetness of most donut shops. And our next destination is a much shorter walk than the walks we had earlier. Okay, this isn't the most appealing place to eat a snack, but look, it's not that bad. There's a little alley right next to the shop. There's a music academy over there. And around the corner over there, it takes you out to the main street. I've sometimes used this place right here, this spot, to eat snacks when they come through here. All right, so this is a Portuguese egg tart. And I mean really Portuguese style. This is not the typical Asian style, not the kind you typically see in Korea. It is so much better than that. And this is what it looks like. And look at this. This is just so flaky, this crust here. Amazingly flaky. And what I love about the inside, the custard, it's creamy. It is so creamy. You know, a lot of these Korean bakeries you go to and you get their egg tarts, their custard is more of a thicker consistency, more like a cottage cheese consistency, something like that. And they don't taste anywhere near as good as this. They're usually much too sweet. I don't even bother getting egg tarts at Korean bakeries anymore most of the time. But this is absolutely amazing. In fact, in one of my UK videos, I showed you something I got from Cafe de Nada, which is where I visit to get these things in London every time I'm there. There are other places there I haven't tried yet, but Cafe de Nata is my go-to, and they have this blueberry that is so good. Here they only have two flavors, original and vanilla, and this is light. It's original, but it's low sugar version. So original, vanilla, and light. 3 options, 2 flavors. Man, look at this thing. Oh no, I just dropped a big hunk of it. That is such creamy custard. And again, fitting in with our theme today, it is not very sweet. Of course, this is the light version, so there's lower sugar. But even the original doesn't taste very sweet. I've had that. And the vanilla is good, but it's like the original, just with a hint of vanilla, right? Again, not overpowering. And that's why these are my favorite places, because the flavors, again, are not overpowering. It's just subtle, and it's not so sweet that it, drives me nuts after I eat it, with regret. Why did I eat that? So from that cinnamon roll that we had earlier, and even the pretzel, which shouldn't be sweet anyway, but you know what I mean, to the salt bread, the frosted salt bread, to this egg tart. These are all great if you are like me and you can't handle sweets like you used to, or if you've never been able to handle sweets as well as some other people. Now, if you are somebody who likes really sweet stuff, I don't know, you might find these a little bland. I don't think you'll find this bland. This is good. This is good. I think even if you're if you've got a super sweet tooth, you're going to love this. I'm pretty confident. So I'm going to take you to one more place, just because I haven't had coffee yet, and I have my computer with me. I want to do a little bit of work outside of the house today for an hour or two before I go home. So I'm going to go to this coffee shop. It is a franchise, and it's not one I would normally put on a favorite places list, but I do have a guilty pleasure there that I will show you that kind of breaks the theme of today. It is a little sweeter than the other things, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm not going to sit in a coffee shop and get some work done. We are outside Tim Hortons and exit 4 of Songshin Women's University Station. Yeah, it's too crowded. There were no seats available, nowhere I could plug in my laptop. I do have a guilty pleasure here. It is their honey cruller. This thing is amazing. It's really nice on the outside here, but it melts in your mouth. That's how nice it is on the inside. Look at this thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this thing is just amazing. So good. Unfortunately, it is sweeter than the other stuff we've had today. You see this frosting on the outside. Some of their donuts I can't eat. Too sweet. Now, they have a maple cruller, which is a version of this with maple frosting on top, and it is so good. But again, too sweet. So I eat that very rarely. They also have a maple donut. Good, but again, too sweet. So yeah, I don't eat these very often, but they're good. So if you're in Korea, and you're probably going to be trying the local cafes and not visiting the major, Western chains too often. But I'm really liking Tim's better than Starbucks for the food. I mean, even Starbucks pastries, their cakes, their muffins and all that, oh my gosh, over the top in sweetness. Way too much for me. I can't touch them. I haven't eaten any of those in quite a long time. I still like their drip coffee, but gosh. But Tim's, they've got good coffee. Their pastries, some of them are edible for me. Not too sweet to eat, but their sandwiches are pretty darn good. Yeah. I'm going to go home and get some work done. I hope you found my recommendations today somewhat helpful. If you're visiting Korea and want to try some bread stuff that isn't too sweet, these should do you right. If you're living in Korea, I recommend you give these places a go, especially the first place I took you to, the Dawning Bakery. That's the one I go to most often out of all the ones I've showed you today. You know, these frosted salt bread things and the Portuguese egg tarts. Those are things I get when I'm craving them, you know. I mean, it's like, gosh, I haven't had an egg tart in a while. I think I'll go get one. I'm going to go to Nada de Nada instead of some random bakery, you know. If I'm craving a donut, sometimes I'll come here and get a cruller. Sometimes I'll go to Daehakno and get one of those frosted salted bread things. But Dawning, you know, that's a place I'm starting to stop by somewhat regularly now. So pretty good stuff there. And that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for coming along with me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.